fantastiskt vilken publik jag har här idag. Det här kommer ju bli toppen. Och då är det så här att då ska vi faktiskt få ett par åkarhälsningar till våra kära publik. Och det är Torstein Stenersen och Linn Persson. Hej publiken. Och den är publiken. Jag kommer att klippa då som det var.
Ik weet niet, ik ging daar de panna.
Alldeles strax alltså tävling igen och det kommer att vara så att vi i någon ordning kommer att lämna över till Kjell-Erik. Vi har en liten testomgång, eller en testrun, lite break, en liten testomgång med vågen. Vi gör som vanligt, vi börjar längst bort på läktaren här. Vi tar här från the stand och start, and on 3. Så vi börjar här borta och vi testar nu. 1, 2, 3.
Ultima tură, după ultima serie, am tras cu clar,
Okej, då tar vi en till och så skickar vi upp och så har vi Kjell-Erik för att säga just nu. Okej, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Så är det jubel! Så är det. Vad säger du Kjell-Erik? Ja, jag säger att jag tycker det ser väldigt bra ut. Jag hade faktiskt förväntat sig att det kommer idag. Det är ju första gången in den här säsongen och det är väldigt att Sverige ska få ett lag som verkligen vill kämpa. Det visar de ju Martin. Speciellt stafetten som kommer nu, där var faktiskt Sverige i segerdiskussionen heter den sista sträckan för ett år sedan. Så det kan gå riktigt bra. Men här måste jag säga att liten varning för de två som åker för då tar vi en till och så skickar vi upp och så har vi Kjell-Erik för att säga just nu.
-4 the temperature here in Ostersund, the wind blowing at 5 kilometers an hour. As usual, it's fairly gusty here. It caused a few problems in the mixed relay. I suspect we're going to see some of the same again. Let's have a look at the course, 1.5 kilometers, so it's much shorter than we saw, particularly on the men's leg. And the men might make up the extra distance because the women will end up having raced 6 kilometers. The men make up that extra distance by going once more round that loop after the final shoot.
Yes, so it's only 1.5 further. It's going to be, and we've seen this race only a few times, and it's a very exciting race. A lot can change in an instant because of the amount of times each of the athletes are shooting. And I do like the fact that each athlete will shoot 4 times, twice in the prone and twice in the stand. And if you miss, it's onto a little penalty loop.
Okay, have a guess at the winning time. I think we're looking at 35:35.
I'm impressed. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Is it the same conditions as last year? Probably a little faster.
I think it might be a touch faster. Nice to see Great Britain racing in this one. And, of course, your lad Scott Dixon is taking his place on the second and fourth legs and racing alongside Amanda Lightfoot. Well, they're their favourites. France, Russia, Sleptseva and Babikov. That's a pretty strong, well, if Sleptseva's anywhere near her best, it's going to be a strong team. Team 4, that's Canada, Crawford and Smith. I think the Canadians have got a chance of getting on the podium. Nathan Smith, he's usually fairly good, on fairly good form at the start of the season.
Yeah, and I like this race because it really does open up possibilities. What about Tandrevold? We saw how good she could perform on the big day at the European Championships.
Austria with Lisa Theresa Hauser and Simon Ada, they've put their strongest into this event as well. And Germany with Preutz and Eric Lesser. We've seen them do well together in the Schalke Stadium. So the countdown starting for the final race of the day. Due off in just over a minute's time, 50 seconds I think we might have heard there. So only the top 3 teams on the first rank. we used to see far more on the first row, Mike. This, I guess, means you get less broken poles, less falls in the start, but a big disadvantage to be Great Britain and Estonia right at the back.
There's no way through, really, and you've just got to be patient. And of course, from this point onwards, it's all climb to the high point, so difficult to get past. There's not much room to pass the athletes ahead of you.
And actually, it's not worth the effort. It's not worth the effort. You take too many risks to do that. Maybe it's best just to calm it down. What you've got to hope is that you don't get too much of a concertina effect and you don't get the leaders streaming away and having no way of chasing them.
And can you imagine the spread that's going to happen? There'll be a 20-25 second spread with 26 athletes on the track.
Norway wearing 1, Austria 2, Germany 3, Canada, Russia, France at 4, 5 and 6, Sweden, Ukraine, Italy on that third rank, 7, 8 and 9, and then Latvia number 10. And it'd be interesting to see who decides to set the pace. Crawford's gone out fairly fast.
That's a good move from the second rank. She really had purpose there to try and lead this out, try and keep away from trouble.
Yeah, she went straight past Tandrevold. Tandrevold looking a little uneasy, nearly knocked over by the Austrian. I think that was Hauser just behind her, clipping the back of her skis.
Well, the coach is getting in the way of the visual there with the spare poles.
Well, things will settle down over the early stages. Fairly small crowds. That's usually the way for this first day of action. Wednesday will be quiet, Thursday will be quiet, and then come Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I think we're going to see a decent number. I hope we have a full house over the weekend. I always think that should be a requirement. If you don't get a full house, you don't get the World Cup back the following year.
Well, they certainly view what are the likely figures in terms of spectators to give it the atmosphere in the stadium and on the track. And Ostersund has been so good over the years. Looking back to the World Championships 2008, it was what, some 25,000 people on some of the good days. There's just no way past there, Patrick. Very steep climb this, the steepest part of the track. Where's Amanda?
Wearing 25 and sitting in 26th. I think just settle down, take it easy, enjoy the ride on the first lap, make sure of the targets. That's absolutely essential, and then you'll find yourself climbing up through the order. There will be some who rush the first prone shoot. Well, they're already heading back down towards the stadium, so you can see how short the lap is. They'll take a left-hand turn in a moment and then complete that final. Well, it's not the last climb, but it's the last significant climb before the shooting.
It looks a very simple course. It's not. You've got that 155 to the high point of fairly hard work. This recovery, right turn, left turn, then the big climb up the field here, and then very simple down to the range.
Yeah, just looking at the margin between the front and the back, Mike, it looks to me as though there's a good 120 metres. If that's the case, we could find 20 seconds between the front of the field and the back, and that's quite a margin to try and make up.
Finland there, Toivonen holding some of the traffic back, not able to get past her.
Now, we must have had a faller, because that is Ingrid Tandrevold of Norway, who's right at the back. She must have taken a tumble at some stage. I didn't see it, did you?
Didn't see it. Well, someone got down on the rise up, but you lose very little time in that process.
Yeah, Tandrevold looked a little unsteady just coming out of the stadium, so it obviously happened out of camera shot. Some of you may have picked it up, but bad news for Norway, and that will make Emil Hegler Svensson sweat a bit.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there she is, yeah.
Did she hit that bollard? I think she did. Well, for only 3 minutes, you barely get into the race. It's a different style of racing now, because normally you've always got 5.5 to 6 minutes before you come in to shoot, so it's short, it's sharp, it's aggressive.
But having said this, this is one of the training techniques they use, isn't it? Kilometre shoot, K.5 shoot, so they'll be used to this format, but maybe not in the racing style.
That's right, then you spice it up with the World Cup badge on it and all the pressure that comes with that. Ludwig Gredler there scoping for Lisa Teresa.
Best of the Austrian women over the last 5 years, certainly. Nice to get the first shot away, working from left to right. France and Sweden going from right to left. An early miss from Sweden. 1-2 have gone wide, so They need to just steady it down, make sure of those targets. Lynn Persson shooting for Sweden. France are away, 5 down. Germany, no mistakes from Germany. Kazakhstan get the 5 targets down. Finland clear the targets at the first time of asking. Norway, Tandrevold yet to shoot. Here she is shooting in lane 1, left-handed.
Good news for the British team. Amanda's got 5 out of 5. She'll pull some time back, get in with the race.
That's quite disciplined shooting there from Tandrevold. I think the temptation would be to try and make up all the time you lost because of the fall, and she didn't do that. She just made sure of the targets. Now she can start to work. If she can get, 10-15 seconds back on this second loop, she'll be back in the mix for a good position at the end of leg number 1. And remember, when they finish the second shoot, they go straight to the transition area. They hand over to the men without going around the 1.5. I guess, Mike, if you're going to take a full, take it on the very first lap. Gives you time to make up for it. It would have been disastrous later on in the race. There are Germany racing Franziska Preutz, 22-year-old. What do we see? A great racing from her in the mass start in Kontiolahti a couple of years ago at the World Championships. Took silver medal there.
She's so calm. Preutz is so controlled. The real mindset of a biathlete. Not so fast on the track. That was France and, of course, Dorana Baer going past her already, pulling back some 5 seconds to this point.
So what are you expecting from Scott this season? He's been injury-free this summer?
Hey, I think every athlete picks up a couple of little tweaks. He's had a few setbacks. He's got a bit of a foot problem. There's a bone which is growing a little bit strange, but trying to sort that out. He, with the issues going on with the team and unfortunately the lack of team funding, he struggled a little bit early season, but then really has hit the last part of the summer months with a lot of training. Seems to be stronger, shooting well. We'll have to wait and see. Amanda likewise, maturing as a biathlete. She's got depth now and experience, so I really hope they can just keep control here today and show that the British team can challenge many of the big teams.
Well, let's hope so. Strength has become a part of all sports now, and I don't think there's any sport that doesn't use the gym. What's his strengthening regime? How often is he in the gym?
I think it's up to 3 times with some heavyweight session on one of those times. And a lot of the strength is also done in terms of double poling. Mentioned yesterday's first day on skis, it was 50 kilometers in the morning, and in the afternoon it was 25 kilometers only using the arm, double poling. So that's combining the strength with the endurance. And it is necessary. You have to put in mileage like that as a biathlete, as a cross-country skier.
And long sessions as well without the poles, just using the legs.
Absolutely. Dynamic movement through the legs, getting your balance through the skis.
Yeah, learning to use the legs to generate the power. That's one of the trickiest parts. It's not so difficult to generate power. Looking at a double poling, a bit of double poling research showing that those who are really good get everyone gets a good amount of power as you plant the basket, but then it's that second phase that makes the difference between the good and the really good.
It's like a rebound, isn't there? I think the poles take some of the initial energy.
So, any surprise to see France in the lead? Dorana Baer. Just stay calm. Mazet on the scope again for the French. Long time between position.
Well, not as convincing, but she took her time as well. Dorana Baer came in maybe just a little hard.
Austria are away, Germany are away. This is a bit of a surprise. Having said Mazet's scoping for the French, she's having to watch the Norwegian team. A few changes in the coaching this year, as we mentioned. Wolfgang Pichler back with the Swedes.
Well, that's right, and Mazet has moved from the French team to bring his magic to the Norwegian team, and it seems to have been a good new move for him. He needed a change, and it's working well.
So there are the top 6. Germany now in control. Let's see where Durant is at the handover. Germany now relying on Eric Lesser, man from Oberhof. He took a medal. He took a gold medal at Kontiolahti as well. So 2 medalists from Kontiolahti in the German team for this single mixed relay.
Amanda taking all her spare rounds, 3 spare rounds, losing some 30 seconds there, but got them all down. That's positive.
Preutz looks calm, doesn't she? Very, very solid.
She's never phased and so stable. No tension through the rifle.
So Germany and Austria, the 2 leading teams, and France will be disappointed with that second shoot. Here they come though, Martin Fourcade. Nice to see him having a little bit of work to do. His first run of 2. Early days of the single mixed relay. The first leg has been completed. We're now on to the first of the men's 2 legs, and Eric Lesser leading at the moment ahead of Austria, and we've got Simonader for Austria. Now this will be an interesting matchup, Mike. Eric Lesser very solid with the rifle, and then of course Simonader very fast. 92% for Lesser in the prone throughout last season. Simonader, I just thought he was rushing it a bit throughout last year. He came in with 88%.
Lesser on a good day can rattle those targets down as well and hit them all.
It's going to be the tortoise that wins this one. He does. Well, there's a very good lesson, isn't it?
Taking time. Look at Martin Fourcade. 5 out of 5, his first 5 of this season.
And he closes down. Now we've seen Martin Fourcade have a couple of meltdowns here at Ostersund. It's not quite windy enough to trouble him. Maybe in the next few days we'll see some difficult conditions. I haven't seen the forecast for next week. I was expecting it to be a little bit windier today. I know, was it racing in Biathlon cancelled this weekend?
It's certainly very windy when Denise Herman, the cross-country skier, now a biathlete, missing her 6, took the victory. A lot of bad shots that day.
Talk us through this.
So a rifle off, you're not allowed to take it off your shoulders until you stop moving. And Eric just composes himself, taking a little longer, and it pays off. Especially on a windy day, if you rush this, you can really pick up these penalties and losing so much time.
So the top 3 teams now together. Germany, Austria and France. News of other teams. Kazakhstan were in 4th last time we saw. Sweden, Switzerland 5 and 6. 7, 8 is Canada, Ukraine, Latvia, Bulgaria, Russia, Italy, Finland, Great Britain, and just looking for Norway. Norway down in 16th place at the moment. Svensson is on the range. He's missed 2 already, so they're going backwards. 119 behind. And I know it's still relatively early days, but I think they might find themselves out of this one after just the first 2 runs.
Now that's a long haul back for the Norwegian team, as you say. Well, he's got the targets down now, so 2 spare rounds, 20 seconds thrown away for Svensson, and that's putting a lot of pressure under Tandrevold.
Well, I predicted 35 minutes for this for the win.
You're
I think
revising.
well, I think it's going to be even quicker than that. Certainly, if they keep this sort of pace going.
Foucault, I thought he might hang in behind once he'd caught them up, but he's having none of it. He'll be pushing his way to the front very soon. America 2:06 behind. Belarus, I expected better, 2:02 behind, and Norway 1:47 behind.
Next shoot coming up in the stand position. Foucault looks very comfortable, doesn't he? Nothing, no skiing really to be done after this shoot. So are you surprised that he's just tucked in behind Lesser? Is that the right tactic? Save something for the final run?
I think so. It's such a short time in terms of warp distance, 1.5 kilometers. He had nothing really to gain to charge past, and maybe gain 2 or 3 seconds, but it's all about keeping calm now on the range. It's very changeable, difficult conditions for shooting, and that's why I think they'll compose themselves and take a little time building their position.
So Lesser nearest the camera, Foucault in lane 2. Simonada, will he take his time? 3 apiece. In fact, Foucault just edging ahead. Well, that's a good comeback from Ada. He's gained some time, and that mistake from Eric Lesser has given France and Austria a slight advantage. What's it going to be? Really good indication of how expensive a miss is in this game, because they were neck and neck at that stage. 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds, and he didn't hang around. So 8 seconds lost for every round lost or missed. 14, Kazakhstan. Team 7, that's Sweden with Torsten Sternesson. Well, Sweden still in a position. A podium finish would be an excellent way for them to start the season. They didn't do too bad in the mixed relay, Sweden.
Sweden did well. They were in the race for a while, I think dropping back to, what, 8th position by the end. 6th position.
Yeah, it was the second leg from Hannah Oiberg. It went, she missed 3 in the prone. France just starting to extend their lead over Austria. Durand-Abert pulling away. This is a significant move. 5 with 5 in the prone could see France with a comfortable margin. Germany suffering after that miss from Eric Lesser. Franziska Preutz now has a bit more pressure on her. She's not pushing the pace at the moment. Durand-Abert, on the other hand, is going going very hard and gaining time almost with every stride.
Well, they're a class act, aren't they? Duran Aber, Martin Fourcade, are they beatable? I still think that as the race progresses, and we've seen this before because it's a system, a race that they're not used to, and when you're not totally comfortable in what you're doing or it's fairly new, you're less experienced at it, therefore you worry about it and don't have the same flow as in all the other races.
You don't think the very fact that Duran Aber struggled with the first stand, that is going to be the key marker. I don't think she'll struggle with this prone coming up, but she didn't look comfortable on that first stand. She didn't have a good result. I wonder whether that's going to just nibble away at her confidence.
It could do, and it'll spice this thing up. And she's checking the flags out. It's actually windier this time around.
Yeah, we need a couple of a good gust. We need a good gust.
Jean-Paul there, Giacchino just he'll believe in what he's watched her all summer, how she shoots, where the fall of the shots are. Teresa Hauser in beside her there on the left. Well, the wind so far not troubling them. As soon as I said it, Lisa Teresa missed one.
Freutz has got to be quick. Oh, no, that... did she get that round away? Must have done. Thought she had a slight mechanical, but she's got 5 down. But suddenly France have a lead of 5 seconds over Austria. It's going to be closer to 15 over the Germans. Sweden could shoot from Pessen, could set them up for a shot at a podium. Nah, too many mistakes. Well, at least the targets have gone down, but she's let Kazakhstan get back into 4th position. 18, they're doing very well indeed. That's Switzerland. Aita Gasparin, younger sister of Selena, and Mario Dolder is in the exchange area waiting to go. He's going to have at least another 3 minutes before he starts his final leg.
Quite a spread out race. We've got Russia just coming in there in 11th position, Italy behind them in 12th, Czech Republic 13th, Finland 14th, Estonia, then Norway still in 16th, and Great Britain just in behind Norway.
Well, it's a good run from Britain at the moment. Shooting scores respectable.
6 spare rounds used for the British team.
Ukraine have shot very well indeed. I don't think they've missed a target so far, so slightly surprised to see them outside the top 4. One more shoot to go for Duran Aber, and there's every chance that she could. In fact, I don't think she's going to lap any of the other teams, but Martin Fourcade could certainly catch them on his next loop. 22.5 minutes on the clock at the moment. Another 12, 13 minutes to go, I suspect.
And quite interesting, what I was going to say, what do you do in between your rest time? And of course, you need to keep the limbs moving, get off the skis. They're all jogging around in the warm-up area. And watching the race, you can't but watch the race.
Aber seems to use very long poles. What do you favour? What's the measure you use?
Well, normally the hands or the top of the handle comes up to about the nose, between the bottom of the chin, I suppose, to the nose, and that's perceived to give the best purchase. They've tried it up to the top of the head, but then you're bringing in the arms, you're offsetting your balance a little.
And that's when the tip of the pole is on the ground or on your ski?
When the tip of the pole is on the ground, on a flat ground beside you, in ski boots. And of course, when skating came in, remember, certainly the East Germans then, they had ski poles the same height as themselves.
Yeah, the Canadians tried that. I remember Gunderson turning up with a single pole about 8.5 foot long. That didn't last long.
That didn't work well.
But it was an incredible transition, wasn't it? 1985 Seefeld World Championships, and everyone went from classic to skating overnight. regardless of how painful it was. And the belief before that was that, oh, you could do 100 meters skating, but then the legs were just too tired.
Yeah, it was perceived you could not skate up these steep climbs, but of course everyone does it with ease these days. Little drink.
Now, will she tidy up? First stand was problematic. No rhythm. For those who want an exciting race, we need her to miss at least 3. Unlikely to happen. Austria are coming back. Austria are coming back. That is a fantastic shoot from Lisa Theresa Hauser. Well, what a boost for her. She's got Austria back into the lead, and now we have Simon Eder, who's back on level terms with Martin Fourcade. Not an easy man to beat, but Simon Eder will relish the challenge, and that little bit of pressure could be what it needs to upset Martin Fourcade, take him out of his comfort zone. A shame that Preutz missed her opportunity to catch the leaders. Eric Lesser would have been a great man to have in that little trio. As it is, he has to hope that the 2 leaders make mistakes on this last leg. 4.5 kilometers still to go, 2 shoots to be completed, 1 prone, 1 stand, and then it will all be over. Sweden with Torstein Sternesson on his way for the last time tonight. But it's a fairly big margin, 55 seconds in 4.5 Ks. He's got to hope that there's a meltdown at the front of the field. Fourcade pushing the pace. Simon Eder not tempted to go with him at the moment. Nice test of the world champion and overall World Cup winner early on in the year. Little look over that left shoulder from Fourcade just to see where the opposition are, and it's not so much the distance. What he wants to know is how hard Simon Eder is breathing, how hard he's managed to push the Austrian. I think that was that Scott just leaving the range?
That's Amanda.
Or Amanda just leaving the range.
After a stand shooting is bad news. She's missed 3.
So what's that, 3 penalty loops, or she required 3 spare rounds?
That's 3 penalty loops. She will be on the loop now, unless that's her down the end of the range. Yes, still shooting.
Well, Simon Eder has really slowed down on this occasion. I thought he might chance his arm, but no. He's going to lose 6 seconds or so. And now Eder has to think about defending second rather than chasing first. There's going to be probably about a 10-second margin between first and second. Eric Lesser. .92 percentage hit rate for Lesser last year in the prone, and he started pretty well so far this season. So just one more shoot for Martin Fourcade to complete. I think it was the stand that he had a meltdown in a couple of years ago.
It was. Did he miss 4?
I think he missed 4.
It's hard to believe. So it does happen, even for the great man himself. Kazakhstan and Sweden. The Kazakhstan team doing well. Unfortunately for the British team, I think I'm right in saying Amanda's just been pulled out. As Fourcade went out ahead of her. Good number of teams being pulled out. Slovakia, Poland, Romania, Korea, Lithuania, Slovenia. Well, still good from the Swedes. Canada in the fight. Kazakhstan struggling there. 3 spare rounds used. Yeah, losing a lot of time.
Good competition for the minor placings. I think Sweden, if they can just tidy up the shooting a little, I think their skiing's look very good tonight. Switzerland's likewise. Certainly the Swiss started well in the mixed relay earlier on today. Track's in good condition, and that's good news for anyone heading north for the Christmas break or for some early season skiing. Not a bad venue. There's some easy skiing around here as well, Mike, if you come for training.
It's lovely. It's absolutely lovely. I can't believe the pace that Fourcade is dancing his way. He's just leaping, transferring his weight with huge compression on each ski, destroying Eder. A lot of energy when he's raising his body weight so high, but getting the gain with the huge compression through the ski, Fourcade.
Now, so far today, Johannes Tingesbo has had the best shoot. He did that on the final shoot of the mixed relay. Can't be much more than 6 seconds to clear the 5 targets.
It was impressive. And he's got his shooting down to, from stop moving to start, Johannes down to sometimes 19 seconds. So he can, but that's in training. Do you risk that in racing? He was about 22, 23 seconds today. Well, Norway and Svensson just finishing his pro, and there he is, just going out ahead of Fourcade, 1.5 Ks behind.
Last shoot of the day for the French team. They put their 2 strongest athletes in the single mixed relay, and it looks at the moment as though it has paid off. I don't think there'll be any change if he misses 1. If he misses 2 in succession, then it might just get the nerves rattled a little.
Edged on his 3rd.
Plenty of time, plenty of time. An easy ski round the last 1,500 metres. Simoneda just needs to make sure now. Watch how quickly those targets go down. 1, 2, 3, that's pretty sharp. Now, is that a little opportunity for Lesser of Germany?
He'll think it, but he has to shoot fast. He'll be aware that he needs to shoot faster now to get a chance for silver.
No, it's gone.
Over.
It's gone. So it's going to be a procession through to the finish. I don't think anyone's going to chase too hard. And Simoneda just looked over his shoulder. I think he probably heard the miss from Eric Lesser. That's the advantage of not having anyone else on the range. So he knows he's not under any particular threat. Fourcade 20 seconds clear, and he can play with that as he likes. So a first win for the French for the season. Norway, of course, getting the win in the mixed relay. Switzerland and Sweden side by side on the range, and Canada there as well. The Canadians with Crawford and Smith. Shooting scores, Mike, anyone particularly impressive?
Just trying to get Switzerland, having only missed 1 target so far. That's the best shooting score by a long way, but missing at the moment.
Take that up to 2, 3. Don't say they're going to get a penalty loop on the final shoot of the day. Kazakhstan have gone clear, and they're going to jump up at least 2 places. So 6th place for Sweden in the mixed relay. It's going to be 4th place, I think, in the single mixed relay, showing that they've got some decent strength in depth, not challenging the very best in the world quite yet, but some new names, some young talent. Well, look how fluent. Oh, just a little loss of grip, but he's got plenty of spring in those legs. Very dynamic technique.
Now he's just having a look. He'll back off now. Job done. Just adjusting his glasses for card.
Oh,
Norway still not in for the final shoot. Svensson coming in soon for his stand shoot. Down in 13th position.
Well, that's a shame. Hasn't turned into the most exciting of races. The mixed relay actually was a very good race, with the lead changing on a number of occasions. Outstanding performances by the 2 Norwegian men, really sealing victory there. And 1 or 2 athletes having trouble with the standing, just struggling with the wind. But that's not been the case for the French today. As expected, coming through to take the victory, 35.43.
What did you say, 35.25?
35.35, so 8 seconds out. I'll take that.
Not bad, not bad. I think it's an exciting race, the change of lead occasionally tonight, but it can give the chasing teams, the lower-ranked nations, an opportunity. But 9 teams not finishing.
I think we've got a little bit of an issue with teams deciding whether they put their strong skiers in the mixed relay or the single mixed. Might be quite nice if the higher ranked skiers had to go in the mixed relay, and then you gave an opportunity for the sort of second division, let's say, going in the single mix, so you have a tighter race.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it shows how seriously the French team are taking this. The 2 best players in this team, Svensson and Tandrevold, on paper were a very good pairing as well, but it didn't work out.
You don't think they just thought this is our best chance of getting a winner's check?
I don't know. No, there's another strategy in there. Maybe they know they won in Canmore at the end of last season. They enjoyed that. It's a new and exciting race. They felt it's a buzz with this new format, and I think it is. A lot can go wrong. It didn't to date for the French team. It has done for the Norwegian pairing. And the British team ending, well, when Amanda was pulled out 20th position from 26 teams. I think they'll be okay with that. Scott didn't get a chance to run his final 2 legs. Sweden will be happy, 4th, although 55 off the bronze medal.
And this is an excellent performance, and Switzerland celebrating because they were ranked 18. They finished in 6th position. That could well be the performance of the day. Canada in 7th. Crawford and Smith going nicely. It's not been an outstanding day for the Russians. 4th in the mixed relay, Anton Shapulin producing the fastest leg. That's about the best news they can take. And they finished 8th, 1:59 behind shooting-wise. Usually Russia's so good with the rifle. They did a penalty loop. That's really where it went wrong.
The Russian team, Shleptsova and Babikov, I expected a little better from them. Nearly 2 minutes behind, 1:59.8 behind. Sometimes since Shleptsova was at her best with 16 podiums in her career, but they all came between 2008 and 2010. She's done very little since, with her 5 wins in that period of time as well. Ukraine normally love this kind of tight racing, and 2 good names there as well.
Very good run from Belarus.
Svensson pulling quite a bit back in his last stand shoot, shooting well.
Yeah, Belarus will be delighted to have beaten the Norwegians. 2:54. They were ranked number 21. Jerkovic and Bakarnikov. and Italy well down after the excitement of the mixed relay. Vitozzi, Vera, Hoffer, Windisch, all looking good. Hoffer just needs to tighten up on the standing shoot. They could well have won that mixed relay. Vitozzi was fast. Dorothy Vera looked very good, Mike. She's going to be a challenger for the overall this year. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Yeah, she looks so good in her skis, and we know how good she normally shoots.
So that's all for today. Not the most exciting of races to finish off our coverage from Ostersund. We'll be back on Wednesday. The women's individual is going to be the first individual race of the season. Hope to see you then. Goodbye for now.
Welcome back to Killington. We're in the middle of the second run of the second slalom of the World Cup season, with Anna Bucic leading the way for Slovenia. So we're in a bit of a TV timeout now, and we'll go back to the live action very shortly. Top 30 going in reverse order.
Ja, we are waiting for the three best teams. Medan vi väntar Sofia så hinner vi intervju med en utav de två svenska åkarna.
Ja visst, jag har med Linn Persson här. Jag säger grattis till en fin fjärdeplats. Ja, tack så mycket. Hur var känslan för dig där ute? Jag tycker det känns bra. Stark och jag är glad att du kör om för långt. Ja, jag såg att du körde väldigt bra där ute, så väldigt fint ut. det var lite skakare. Jag fick väl